Fresno, California has a huge housing problem, a really big one. But what if I told you an investor from LA says he's got a revolutionary fix that could change, well, everything? Is this for real? Let's dig in and find out. So, this brings us to the big question, right? Can one person, one single investor, actually come in and revolutionize an entire city's housing market? It sounds a little crazy, but Fresno's mayor, he seems to think so. In fact, he's betting big on it, pinning the city's hopes on this outsider with a pretty radical idea. And when I say the stakes are high, I mean really high. Look at this number, 35,000. That's how many affordable homes Fresno County is short. It's not just a statistic, it's a massive gap affecting thousands of real families. And that number, it's the backdrop for this whole story. Okay, so we're talking about Fresno's housing crisis, but it's not just a simple lack of houses. No. This crisis hits one particular group of people the hardest, a group they call the missing middle. So, who are these folks in the missing middle? Well, picture this. You're trapped. You make too much money to get any financial help from the government, but you don't make nearly enough to keep up with the insane cost of housing. We're talking about teachers, nurses, essential workers, the very people who make a city run. And right now, they're completely locked out of the market. All right, so into this pretty bleak situation steps a potential hero. And he's a bit of an unlikely one. He's an LA investor who's become a developer, and his name is Ted Moon. And let me tell you, Fresno's mayor is basically rolling out the red carpet for him with some seriously high praise. First, Mayor Jerry Dyer calls him a visionary. I mean, that's a pretty big label to put on a newcomer, right? But wait, he's not done. Next up, he calls him a financial guru. So now he's not just a visionary, he's some kind of money wizard. And then, here's the kicker. The mayor claims Moon has found the secret sauce. The secret sauce. Okay, that's the one that gets you. What on earth is in this secret sauce? Okay, before we get to the recipe for that secret sauce, let's talk about the chef for a second. Ted Moon is not your average run-of-the-mill developer. His background is in the super high-stakes world of investment banking, hedge funds, and private equity. So when he looks at Fresno, he doesn't see a charity case. He sees what he calls an undercovered market that's just waiting for a brand new approach. So what is this secret sauce that's got the mayor so hyped? Well, it's not some crazy financial scheme. It's actually much simpler and much cooler. It's about completely changing how we build a house. Think of it like this. Building homes like they're giant Legos. All right, let's break this down. On one side, you've got the old way of doing things, traditional stick building. You know, construction happens right there on the site. It's slow, it's expensive, and if it rains, well, everything stops. But on the other side, you have Moon's method, modular development. Here, the homes are built inside a factory, kind of like cars on an assembly line. Then they're shipped out and put together on site. The big difference? It's way faster and a whole lot cheaper. And this isn't just a theory. Let's look at what this speed means in the real world. Moon's first project is called Blythe Village. From the day they broke ground to the day they cut the ribbon, it took just 17 months. And get this, the actual houses? They were built inside a factory in only 6 of those months. That is a total game changer. And Moon himself has a great quote about this. He says, "You need to have speed to have social impact." Think about that. This isn't just about being more efficient for the sake of it. It's about getting families into homes faster. But okay, Moon's big idea isn't just about building houses. It goes way beyond that. He's making a much bigger argument that this method can kick off a massive economic ripple effect that could actually transform the entire city. And the number he's throwing out there is just, wow, $220 million. That's how much he thinks could be pumped back into the local economy every single year. I know what you're thinking. How is that even possible? Well, his theory is pretty straightforward. It's all about a classic ripple effect, basic supply and demand. So step 1, you use this super fast modular method to flood the market with new housing. Step 2, more houses means more competition, so the average rent for everybody starts to go down. Step 3, suddenly 92,000 households that rent in Fresno have an extra $100 or $200 in their pocket every month. That's a huge number of people. And finally, step 4, you add all that up, and that's where you get that $220 million in savings every year. And of course, that money doesn't just disappear. What do people do with extra cash? They spend it.
We're talking about grocery stores, local restaurants, childcare, you name it. That spending creates new jobs. It helps new businesses get off the ground. Like Moon says, that is how you grow. So let's step back for a second. We've got one successful project finished. We've got this bold economic theory. So the big question now is Fresno creating a new blueprint here? Could this be the model for how other cities tackle their own housing crises?
And remember, the first proof is already there. Blythe Village. This isn't just talk anymore. It's 67 brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes for families who, before this, were stuck. It's real. It's a tangible first step. But here's the thing. Blythe Village was just the start. Just the pilot. Moon's real vision is so much bigger. He wants to turn this into a full-on assembly line for affordable housing, cranking out hundreds of new homes in Fresno year after year. And you know, this whole thing with Moon's project, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's actually part of a bigger trend in Fresno. The city is getting really creative with housing. For example, they just took a dilapidated old motel and turned it into a 33-unit community called City Studios. It's pretty clear the city is willing to try new things. And that brings us right back to where we started. Fresno is making a huge bet here, a bold bet on modular housing. So, is this it? Is this the secret sauce that cities all over the country have been looking for? Or are there big challenges to this idea that we just haven't seen yet? I guess only time will tell if this housing revolution actually gets built, one Lego block at a time.